What up, squad? What's going on, gentlemen? Today is Sunday, December 29th, 2024. We got 3 days left in the month, huh? 2 days left in the month. 2 days left in the year. Holy shit. Time is 7:20 p.m. Somebody yesterday called it Middle Gang. I thought that was a pretty cool name, Middle Part Gang, yeah, because the George Washington haircut I rock. Dude, also what I'm noticing, you probably realize I wear the same shirt every day, yeah, because every stream I get home from work, I'm rocking the same shirt, boys. This is the guy with the date breakdowns. I rock the same fucking shirt, the same pants. Yeah, at least I change my socks and my underwear, but I rock the same fit to work every single day. I'm the one making the sales. I'm the one getting the girls. How funny is that, huh? Hey, what up, bro? Good to see you, Gus. Yeah. We got guys telling you how to dress. You need to learn how to dress, this and that. Bro, I wear the same fucking horizontal striped shirt to work every day, and I'm the one crushing it in sales. That's hilarious. Yeah. Anyways, what up, boys? So you see the title today is Intangibles Are Important. And the topic came to me because I was at work and I only had 2 tours today, no sales today. But I was thinking about it and I was like, well, yeah, I'm a good salesperson. Yeah, I make the sales. And you could assume that I am just good at, oh, I'm good at talking. Oh, I'm good at selling the apartment. But I thought about it. I'm like, wow, in reality, and I'll get to your question soon, Gus. In reality, dude, a lot of what gets me the sale at work are the intangibles, yeah. And we're gonna transfer this one-to-one to cold approach, yeah. A lot of what gets me the girl is intangible, yeah. It's something that you can't really reach out and grab. You can't really, you might not be able to like see specifically and go, that's it, right? Oh, it's exactly the way that I stop her. Oh, it's exactly this and that. A lot of it is intangible. A lot of it is the stuff that you can't see that goes on kind of underneath the surface. So first, I want to go through my examples of work, and then I'm going to tie this over to cold approach. Yeah. So first things first, at work, the first example I gave myself was driving carefully. Yeah, driving slowly, driving carefully. So at my apartment complex, it's pretty big. So we drive the tours around apartment to apartment. And something I thought about, I was like, it's funny because when I'm late to work, I'm smashing it, right? I'm speeding over to work, right? Driving recklessly to get to work on time. But it's funny because when I've got guests in the car, right? When I've got clients in the car, I am, both hands on the wheel, sitting up very straight, making sure I'm looking at each mirror before I'm making a turn, right? I'm not super rushed when I drive. And when I think about it, I'm like, dude, I guarantee you that little thing right there, that little thing, just me driving carefully, plays into their comfort. Yeah, plays into their comfort on the tour, their comfortability with me as the leasing agent. And just to compare this to somebody, let's say there's a salesperson that the people hop in the car and he's driving all recklessly. I don't know about you, but when I get in the car with somebody that drives super fast, when I'm in the car, I get really upset because it's like this person doesn't care enough about my life to just like tone it down a bit, yeah, to drive carefully, drive a bit slower. An example of this, this is had to be a year ago or so. I got one cousin that, not my filmer, but I got one cousin that wrecks all his fucking cars. Yeah, he's a real reckless person. Love him to death, but just a very reckless person. And I can remember just multiple times in the car with the guy. This one time in particular made it so that I just stopped hopping in the car with him. Yeah, so he's already driving recklessly all the time when he's alone. But even when he's got his cousin, his blood cousin in the car, who we share DNA, right? This guy's still driving recklessly as fuck, speeding on the freeway. And there's this one particular time, this is what made me stop driving with him, is it was rainy, right? It was rainy. It was in San Francisco. It's had to be over almost a year ago. And he skirted onto the freeway entrance, right? Pulled onto the on-ramp, speeding. It's raining, it's nighttime, pitch black, speeding, and then swerved like 4 lanes across immediately. He was trying to like prove to me how sick he was or whatever it was, right? Swerved immediately into like 4 lanes, oncoming traffic and shit, right? Just trying to prove, oh, I'm so reckless, oh, I'm so cool. And the wheels, we started hydroplaning. And so he lost control of the vehicle. And at the last minute, right before we fucking hit the barricade on the left side of the freeway, it gains traction again. But I just remember I was so upset because I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, like I'm in the car with you. If you want to drive this way when you're alone, so be it. But like I have no control over this vehicle right now, and that means my life is in your hands, and you're fucking speeding. It's raining. The ground is slick. You're just crossing over 4 lanes of traffic, right? From that day on, I was like, dude, I'm never getting in the car with you again. Yeah, if we're driving somewhere, I'm driving. Otherwise, I'll meet you there, but I'm not getting in the car with you ever again. Yeah, same cousin that fucking crashed all his cars, right? He's been in like 4 or 5 accidents. Of course, every single time he wrecks his car, he goes, yeah, it wasn't my fault. Oh, this person cut me off. This thing happened. Blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, my guy, sure, right. And then of course me, I've never been in a big wreck in my life. Go figure. Yeah. But I thought about that. I'm like, yeah, I guarantee you that is part of what, and don't worry, we'll tie this into cold approach, but I guarantee you that just the simple way that I drive carefully and I make it known that I care about the people in the car with me and I care about their life, I guarantee you that that plays into their comfortability with me. Yeah. A few more examples of sales that I have before we tie it into cold approach was explaining things very thoroughly. And so first, yeah, explaining things very thoroughly. Yeah. So I don't know about you, but I've had plenty of experiences with salespeople where they really try to rush the process along. They don't tie up all the loose ends. They don't explain everything very clearly. They're just trying to get the sale, get the sale, get the sale. Yeah. When I'm in front of my clients, I'm literally sitting down with them, explaining every cost that they should expect, right? This is your rent. This is how much you should expect for utilities. This is how much the parking costs. I'll be upfront with you. You're probably not going to get parking for reserve parking for a while. We got a whole log of fucking backlisted people that are on a wait list for parking. Yeah. And so basically there are no surprises. Yeah. These people, they trust me with their money. Why do you think I'm top performer at my job? Yeah. Yeah. It could be I look good. Yeah. It could be the fucking horizontally striped shirt. Sure. Maybe that plays into it. Yeah. But I think a lot of this is the intangibles. Yeah. Something as simple as driving carefully when the people are in the car with me. Yeah. Explaining things very thoroughly when the people are in front of me. And I'm going, look, this is what you should expect. This is how much it costs. Here's your move-in cost breakdown. I go over every single line of the breakdown and I say, this is how I got this amount. This is how I got this amount. When I add these together, this is how we got the total cost. Yeah. And we're going to subtract this because you already paid for this. Yeah. And there's just no questions, right? They leave the leasing office having applied, given me their money. To be fair, I don't get the money. It's the company who gets the money, but still, right? They applied, they paid their money for the application, and they leave the leasing office with the utmost confidence in themselves, in me, in the apartment, in the process. Yeah. In the leasing office, in the company that I work for, in the apartment complex that I work for, they have confidence in it because of the thoroughness of which I explain everything. Yeah. Another thing I wrote is patient tone when re-explaining myself. So another thing I noticed with salespeople, right? They'll answer a question once, and then if the prospect asks that same question again or a very related question, they might roll their eyes, right? They might get a little agitated. Oh, I already answered this. Oh my God, I already told you the answer to this. Okay, once again, the answer is this, right? What I do, the guy might ask me one question. Oh, how much is parking? Then 10 minutes later, wait, how much is parking? My tone doesn't change. Yeah. I'm very patient, very accepting, very understanding. Yeah. I want to make sure that everything is clear and that they understand this and that they have confidence in me and in the decision that they're making. Yeah. I imagine that plays into why I'm top performer. Yeah. Not just, oh my God, he has the gift of gab. Oh my God, he knows how to talk. He's such a smooth talker. Dude, there's a lot of intangibles that go into this. Once again, we're going to get into cold approach very shortly. And then the third thing I wrote was a positive attitude when facing negative questions. Yeah. So if they see the apartment and they're talking about all these, oh, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this, I don't get agitated. I don't go, oh, fuck you then. Oh my God, what the, blah, blah, blah. I just go, all right, let's find you a better apartment. All right, let's find you something that suits you better. Yeah. It's all about serving. No shit, they hand over their money to me. No shit, I'm top performer. No shit, I'm getting all these leases and making all these sales. Yeah. No shit, right? It's because of the intangibles. It's because what you can't necessarily put a finger on what's going on. But when you add up all these little bits and pieces of my personality that I bring to the table when I'm in front of my clients, it makes sense why I'm top performer. Yeah. So let's get into cold approach. All right. So I just brain dumped a bunch of fucking stuff on here. So first I want to preface this by saying that a lot of the times I talk about, all right, you got 2 steps, right? Get yourself to the point where you like yourself. Number 1, step number 1. Step number 2, walk over to the girl. All right. Obviously that's an simplification of things, right? If that was all that it took, then I wouldn't have 200 plus videos on this channel of me talking about all this different stuff at different angles and in different ways. Yeah. So yes, that is the bare bones steps, right? For step 1, Get yourself to a point where you actually fucking like yourself. You look in the mirror, you go, oh, I like myself. Yeah. Step number 2, walk over to the girl. All right. But in that process, there is a lot going on that you are communicating to the girl without saying anything. Yeah. Without even verbally saying anything, you are communicating a whole fucking lot about yourself, a whole lot about your self belief, right? A whole lot about your self confidence, a whole lot about your courage in that simple 3 seconds where you're walking over, you're stopping the girl, you're getting in front of her, right? So if this was like a very technical explanation of what I do, firstly, you've seen it, right? Better than me telling you, you just go watch my infield, you'll see it, right? But if this was a technical explanation, I would just be saying, all right, yeah. So like I walk over, I try to get as in front of her as possible. I try to stop her head on, even when even when she's walking in the same direction as me and I'm catching up to her. I try to bubble all the way around her, get all the way in front of her and stop her head on, right? That would be considered like a really good approach. Now, I'm not perfect, right? Oftentimes I fuck that up. Oftentimes I get nervous and I approach her from the side. Oftentimes I fumble over my words and blah, blah, blah. But that's the very simple base explanation, right? But there's a whole lot going on in the first 3 to 5 to 10 seconds of this interaction, and then as it progresses, that you might not be able to like put a finger on, right? Like you can watch my infields and you can go, all right, like I've tried this, right? I've tried walking over in the same manner and getting in front of her in the same manner, but like I can't seem to get similar results. And you might come to the conclusion, like all these fucking FitX Fearless red pill guys do, they go, oh, it must be because of looks, it must be because of status, it must be because of money, right? And they try to make all these fucking excuses. Well, I'm here to share with you that it's not because of any of that shit. Yeah. I'm sure looking nice plays into it. Yeah. I'm sure this gets me a few extra seconds, right? Yeah. I'm sure having a decent looking body and a decent muscularity to me gets me a few extra seconds. But that is by no means the end all be all. Yeah. How do I know this? Because I looked just like this when I started cold approaching. And the first 5, 10, 15, 20 girls I approached, I was frozen. I didn't know what the fuck to do. They wouldn't stop for me. They walked straight past me. But I looked just like this. Yeah, same nose ring, same George Washington middle part, same fucking beard length, probably a cooler shirt than I'm wearing now, right? Instead of this fucking little pinstripe shirt that I got on that I bought in like 2020 from a thrift shop. But what do you know? I get the result nowadays when 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I didn't get the result, right? Why is that? Yeah. Is it because of looks minus status? Well, it can't be because of money. I'm broke as fuck. Yeah. Maybe sure. It's because I look good. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Certainly not status, right? Because I'm a fucking nobody. Nobody knows who the fuck I am anyways. Yeah. So I believe that in addition to liking myself and then walking over boldly, there are a lot of intangibles that we are going to get into in this live stream that play into why I can find success with this skill set and maybe you're struggling. All right. So first I started kind of listing this stuff out. All right. So first things first. All right. I don't touch the girl when I stop her and approach her. All right. This should go without saying, but I remember a few months back when I was helping that friend that I had. He was, basically he was with me when I was approaching girls. Yeah, he didn't know that we were out on sessions, right? We were just out walking to the park, and then I was like, "Hey, watch this. I'll be right back," right? And then I'd go and approach the girl. And I remember you can even hear him ask me this on one of my date breakdowns to go back to it's Saturday, but I can shoot my shot, right? So there's a little clip of me and this guy, and as we were walking, right, he starts asking me questions. Oh, how do you get her to stop? Oh, this and that. One of the questions he asked me, which I thought was common sense, but one of the questions he asked me was, so like, how do you get her attention? Do you like tap her on the shoulder? Do you like tap her on the back? And I go, no, never, right? I'm a random fucking guy. I'm a random stranger on the street. This girl has no idea who I am. She has no idea what my intentions are before I've spoken to her. Certainly, I do not touch the girl while approaching her. Like I don't go and tap her on the shoulder and go, excuse me, tap, tap, tap. No. Yeah. So that should go without saying. But in case you guys had a question mark there, absolutely not. Yeah. I use my voice and my presence to stop the girl. I do not use physicality. I do not touch the girl. I do not grab the girl on the shoulder, right? You can imagine some guys in New York City, the real aggressive type guys that catcall girls. Maybe this is the type of shit that they do, right? Maybe they go and tap her on the shoulder, or they try to grab her shoulder and go, hey, babe, excuse me, mama, you look hot. Excuse me. No, I don't do any of that shit. No. Yeah. I stop. You go watch my infield. You'll see what I'm talking about. I stop the girl simply with my presence. Yeah. Simply with I just walk in front of her. Yeah. I use what physics to stop the girl because she can't walk straight through me, right? So she either, I stop her, I say, excuse me. She looks me up and down briefly. And if she likes what she sees, she likes what she hears, she'll stop. And if she doesn't, she'll keep walking. Yeah. But at no point in that initial 3 5 seconds do I tap the girl on the shoulder. Do I touch her back and go, oh, excuse me? No, right? You got to think about this from her perspective, right? But this is what I mean, the intangibles, right? Like you might be thinking, well, you might be able to get away with that. Oh, you might be able to tap her on the shoulder. Nah, because what is this communicating is that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, that's communicating. Yeah, I don't really give a fuck about your comfort and your safety. I want what I want. I want you. And so I'm going to try to do that by any means necessary, right? That's like an element of force there, an element of intrusion there. Absolutely not. I never, ever, ever tap the girl on the shoulder. I never, ever, ever try to touch her back and say, excuse me. No, absolutely not. Now, it's different if we're already in conversation for 5-10 minutes and she's literally playing with her hair and flirting with me and blah, blah, blah. And then I might say a joke and tap her on the shoulder, or you've seen some of my infields where the girl's really into me and I'll tap her on the lower back as I'm telling her a joke, or she'll, one of my infields, she goes, oh, I have a boyfriend, this and that. And then I go, okay, well, I'll let you go then, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, oh, are you from San Fran? And I go, San Fran, that's how I know you're not from here, right? And I like touched her back a little bit and I like pushed her away as like a joke. Oh, come on, San Fran, that's how I know you're not from here. Look, get out of here. Yeah, go home, whatever. But you see, like, there was already a very flirty vibe established. I had already stopped her like a goddamn man, right? I got right in front of her, firmly in front of her, right? We're already engaged in conversation. She's already crossing her legs and off balance and stuff, laughing, giggling at my jokes and shit. Clearly it was very clear that she liked me, yeah? Now, unfortunately, she had a boyfriend, but it's like, all right, in that case, yeah, right. I might add a little shoulder touch as I'm telling a joke or something, but it's all very, I hate using this word, but smooth, yeah. And it's only become smooth because I've done it a million times, right? I've approached the girl a million fucking times. All right, so that's number one. I never touched the girl on the stop. All right. The next thing is calm smile, calm voice. I wrote down. All right. So calm smile. This once again should go without saying. If you're walking over to the girl and you've got a straight face, she's probably first instinct, she's probably just going to think you're a serial killer. It doesn't really matter how good you look, right? You could be Mr. 6'5" fucking Steph Curry Jr. Yeah, you could be the most OP light skin in the world. Yeah, walking over to the girl, you're 6'5", you think you're the shit, you're gym maxed. That would probably make it even scarier, right? But if you're in front of her for the first time, she doesn't know who you are, she doesn't know where you came from, but you're stopping her with a straight face, big red flag. Right now, the only reason you'd probably be stopping her with a straight face is either one, you're really nervous and you're thinking a lot, or two, you're just trying to play this like cool guy, cool, laid back, nonchalant persona where you're like, oh, men don't smile. I got to hold, maintain frame, right? And so you're going to walk over to the girl. Dude, first thought, she's going to think you're a fucking serial killer. She's going to think you're up to no good because you're walking over to her in this bold, unannounced way that is already very socially abnormal. But in addition to that, you're communicating to her either you're uncomfortable or, oh, I'm this cool, nonchalant guy. But maybe that's what you see from your perspective. But from her perspective, think about it. She doesn't know who the fuck you are, right? So this random fucking guy walking in front of her, probably taller than her, probably bigger than her, probably could overpower her, but you're stone-faced. Excuse me, right? Like even salespeople don't do that. If somebody's trying to sell you shit on the street, they at least put a smile on. The ones that at least get you to take their flyer, they at least smile at you and give you good energy. But if a salesperson is going, excuse me, would you like to donate to the Nature Conservatory? You're just like, what the fuck, right? So imagine now you're not selling anything and you walk over and she has no idea what you're doing or what you're talking about in the first, 3 to 5 seconds, but you're stone-faced, right? Once again, these little intangibles that we can see, you can watch my infields and guys might go, wow, you're smiling too much. Wow, you're too giddy. Wow, this and that. And while I can agree with some of those points, right? Because a lot of the times I'm simply nervous. I'm doing my nervous laugh. Oh, fucking shoot me. Yeah, shoot me. Sorry. I'm literally walking over to the girl in the boldest way possible, what 99% of men will never do. So yeah, forgive me for being a bit nervous in conversation. But notice how even when I'm nervous, I force the smile anyways. Yeah. I force the soft, calm smile anyways. Yeah. And so maybe it comes out as a little childish, giddy energy. I think that a little bit of childish energy is better than going over with just absolutely stone face, just looking like you're mad at the girl, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying you need to smile during the whole conversation, but in the first 3 to 5 seconds, give her that calm, soft smile. Yeah. Show her that you're not a threat. Show her that you're just a fucking guy here to have a good time, and you have good energy, and there's a positive aura about you. You understand? And then I said calm voice. Yeah. So once again, yeah, crucify me. Go back to my infield and crucify me for having a little bit of upward inflection in my voice. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Once again, this shit is hard. All right. I talk about this because I do this all the time. But yes, this is still difficult even for me. Yeah. So oftentimes, especially if I'm in front of a girl that I think, whoa, she's hot, hotter than any girl that I'm used to seeing or used to dating, then yes, absolutely, there's going to be a little bit of that kind of bitch energy in my voice. Yeah. Not on purpose, of course. But all this to say, calm voice. Yeah. You go to my infield, you'll notice, right? I go over, I say, excuse me. I say, oh, excuse me. Hi. Yeah, I passed you. Or, oh, excuse me. Hi. You look fucking amazing. But there's no aggression in my voice, right? So, when I think aggression, back to that New York City catcalling type archetype, right? You think these guys are really aggressive with their delivery, right? They go, hey, mama, excuse me, mama. Oh, you look hot. Look at that ass, right? And they're just real aggressive with it. And I'm like, well, it's no wonder why the girl's going to walk past or maybe even give the guy a dirty look and flip him off, because there's no consideration, right? There's no consideration of how she's feeling, of what she's experiencing. They're just trying to, whatever they're doing, prove to their friends that they can holla at girls, whatever. Maybe they think that the girl's going to stop off of that, right? Maybe certain women know. I couldn't tell you. All I know is, in my experience, the way that I go about it works really, really fucking well to just stop the girl, right? It's just a very calm delivery, kind of the same way I talk to you. But, for me, I get real fired up and stuff on the live streams. Not really in front of the girl, at least not in the first 3 to 5 seconds, right? Usually I'm pretty fucking calm, right? I want to make sure that she understands that, like, this is pretty neutral. I'm not going to be overly fucking aggressive. Oh my God, you look so fucking hot, blah, blah, blah. Almost like I'm mad, right? Very calm tone, very calm demeanor, right? Kind of like I talked about in the sales example, where I explain things in a very calm way. My tone stays calm. Even if they ask me the same question 4 or 5 times, I answer it with the same calm tone, right? There's no urgency. There's no, sign the fucking dotted line, sign the lease right now. Oh my God. It's very calm. I want to make sure that they understand everything before they commit to this, right? So same thing with the girl. I want to understand that she knows I'm not a fucking crazy aggressive person before she gives me her phone number, we go on a date, etc. And to be fair, she's not gonna stand there and entertain me if I have this aggressive personality, this aggressive delivery to my approach, anyways. All right. So that's the next thing I wrote down was calm voice. All right. And then invitational energy I wrote. So you go to my infield, you watch my videos, you watch me walk over to the girl, and you'll notice that I'm very inviting. Yeah, is a good way to describe it. Yeah, I'm inviting. So I'm not what's the word? I'm not intrusive, right? I'm not kind of like in her space asking 40 questions an hour, like, tell me this, tell me this, tell me this. Of course, initially in the interaction, yes, maybe I'll have to pull a few more answers out of her and I'll ask more of the questions, but it should reach this kind of this I don't know, this average or so, where eventually she's reciprocating also. And if she's not, then very clearly I recognize this girl is simply not into me, right? Either she's very, very shy, which honestly I couldn't really be asked to go take a super shy girl out on a date anyways, or she just simply doesn't like me, right? And so in that case, I'll excuse myself, right? So yeah, just this aura of invitational energy that I bring to all of my approaches, yeah, where I'm inviting her to give me information about herself, but I'm not forceful about it. I'm not aggressive about it. Yeah, do you understand? This is going to be a little bit woo-woo, I understand, but read the fucking title. It literally says intangibles, right? Intangibles are important. All right. The next thing I wrote was not forcing conversation for too long. All right. So this kind of ties into the last one, not forcing conversation for too long. So I imagine a lot of the reason why I can get a pretty solid result as well is, and then the next thing is acknowledging if she's not reciprocating, and then either calling that out or excusing myself. Yeah. So I don't force conversation if very quickly I can tell this girl's not interested in me, right? So what are signs that she's not interested in me? Well, if one clear sign is if I give her a compliment and she is stone-faced about it, right? Now that doesn't mean 100% of the time that girl's not interested in me. I've gone on dates with girls that didn't give me a super grand reaction to my compliment, but that is a telltale sign, right? You compare this to a girl that I walk over and I go, "You're beautiful," and she goes, "Oh, "Oh my god, wow, thank you," right? Way different reaction, right? So so when the girl is clearly not interested, I don't sit there and force conversation for as long as possible. And I'm very quick to acknowledge if she's not reciprocating. So you'll see this in a lot of my infields also. If we get to like the 60-second mark in the conversation, oftentimes maybe 30-second mark, and she's literally not giving me anything, right? But she's still standing there, then I'll just call it out flat out, right? So you can take this straight from my playbook, right? I'll literally just go, all right, you're not giving me much. Like, look, I'm not going to stand here if you're not interested. Like, I can walk away. I'll say some version of that, right? I'll say, oh, is this your way of letting me down? Oh, you're not really giving me too much. Like, are you just not interested, or is that the case? And I'll just call it out. Yeah, I'll call it out like a man. Some guys, they'll tell you never do that. Oh my God, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You can turn all the maybe girls into yes girls. Once again, I'm not interested in maybe girls, right? I want the fuck yes girls. I want the girls that I walk over to and they're just absolutely delighted that I'm in front of them. Yeah. So why even waste my time trying to convert maybe girls to yes girls? I'm not going to steer you clear of that. Do your thing, man. I really don't care. This is just how all right? This is how I. And so I don't force conversations. And then I really, really, really quickly acknowledge if she's not reciprocating. And I wrote this also, though. I put, be careful not to use this as an out. All right. So very early on, when I was approaching girls, let's say back in Poland, and then when I first flew back to San Francisco, I would use that excuse as an out, right? So if she wasn't reciprocating much, but it was like just 10, 20 seconds in the conversation, then I might just very quickly bail because I'm thinking, well, she's not interested, I'm bailing. But in reality, I was just really nervous, really scared. And I was like, oh my God, I'm having a conversation with a girl and we're in public, blah, blah, blah. And so Ephraim, right? The little shell of Ephraim would crawl into myself and I would go, all right, let me just get out of here. I'm scared right now. So there is a fine line there, right? Between like a girl that is just like warming up to you and you're trying to get to know her a bit versus like a girl that's just clearly not interested in you, right? So don't use that as an excuse to go, oh well, she's giving me one word answers for the first 10 seconds, so I'm just going to get out of here, right? I've had plenty of approaches where the girl was just a little shy at first and needed to warm up to me, and then all of a sudden she's talking her ass off, right? Then on the date she's talking my ear off, right? So don't use that as an excuse to bail. Yeah. The next thing I texted myself is acknowledge. I always acknowledge if I feel as though she's in a rush. All right. So same thing here. Same thing here applies. If I get really scared in conversation, then oftentimes early on, what I would do, even today sometimes, yeah, some these days I still do this sometimes, is if I'm really nervous, the girl's really hot, and there's a lot of fucking social pressure, right? A lot of people are around listening into the conversation. Then what I would do, and still to this day, sometimes I'll find myself doing this, is I will just say, "Oh, are you in a rush?" Because I just want the conversation to end because I'm so scared. And so I go, "Oh, are you in a rush right now? Or are you in a rush? Am I stopping you from getting to work? Blah blah blah." But make sure you don't use that as an out. Okay. So I'll preface it that way. Okay. But I'm very quick to acknowledge if I do feel as though there are any signs that the girl is in a rush, right? So glancing at her phone, glancing at her watch, kind of looking around. Maybe she was walking quickly when I walked up to her. Maybe she seems interested in me, but she is giving me very quick answers. And then the obvious is if she literally just tells you, right? You go, "What are you up to?" She goes, "Oh, I'm actually on my way to work." Well, then I store that in the back of my head and I go, okay, if I am to get this girl's phone number, it's going to be a pretty quick interaction, right? She's on her way to work. As beautiful as I am, I don't think I'm beautiful enough for her to be late to work for on the first time where we're meeting each other, right? So so once again, right, when we're looking at this as like the intangibles, right, I imagine that is one of the reasons why I'm able to find success with this skill set. Yeah, it's because I can clearly see, oh, this guy or this guy, oops, yeah, I hope I'm not approaching guys. Yeah, this girl seems like she's really in a rush right now, right? And so I don't want to create like a barrier in her day, because even if she is interested in me, if I'm that fucking guy who tries to stand there for 25 minutes and talk to her, even though she's already told me she's on her way to work, even if she liked me initially, she's going to start thinking as the conversation goes on, this guy's a fucking doofus, right? This guy has no social acumen, no social intelligence, because I've already told him that there's somewhere I need to be, and he's kind of disregarding that, right? So we look back to the sales example, and I tell you boys, there's this like element of comfort that I'm able to create for my clients, right? In how I drive carefully, right? Responsibly, in how I explain all of the topics and all of the or all of the moving cost breakdowns, I explain it very thoroughly, right? So same thing applies to the cold approach. Is I create this like bubble of comfort with everything, right? It's not just all of these things isolated. You got to add them all together, right? The fact that I can hold very direct eye contact to show the girl I'm not crazy. The fact that I can give her a soft smile and a calm voice and a calm delivery. Yeah. The fact that I can really quickly acknowledge, oh, are you in a rush right now? You're on your way to work. All right, look, I'll keep it quick. I'll keep it short and sweet. I like you. Do you like me? So let me get your number. Yeah. Something simple like that. How many times have I done an approach like that? Right. Oh, I'm in a rush. I'm on my way to work. Oh, I'm going to meet my friends for dinner. I'm kind of late. Okay. Or this is a big one in my infields, right? Oh, I'm trying to catch the BART train. I just got off work. I'm going to miss my train. And I go, look, I'm not going to make you miss your train. So I'll just be upfront. I like you. If you feel the same way, I want to take your number down. We can talk more some other time, right? Oh, let's go out on a date some other time, right? If the girl likes me, very quickly, she'll just say, yeah, here's my number or here's my Instagram. And if she doesn't like me, she'll just go, sorry, I'm in a rush. Or, oh, sorry, I'm not interested. Or, oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend, right? You understand? But I imagine that this is another thing that adds into that comfort bubble that I'm able to create, which is part of the reason why I'm able to get a result. All right. What else did I put here? Oh, okay. So here's another one I put: being the person to end the conversation. All right. So I think this is another like very tiny one that is very powerful. Yeah. So I've had conversation back when I was in Poland. I would literally stand there for 20, 25 minutes with the girl and talk to her. And basically we're having a date right there. And as fun as that was, I recognized, okay, wait a second. This girl isn't standing here and talking to me for 20 minutes necessarily because she wants to do that. It's because this girl's probably just polite and doesn't really know how to like call it off, right? Some girls are firm and direct and they're able to just go, look, dude, I'm in a fucking rush. Like, get to the chase, right? But a lot of women, especially you're approaching girls around 20, 21, 22 years old. These aren't the most established, socially sharpened women, right? So they might feel still a little bit like, whoa, there's this man in front of me. Am I allowed to go? Right? That kind of a thing. Like this happens a lot of times in work with my clients where they'll be sitting at a table and I'll be telling them, oh, I'm doing this for you. All right, I'm writing in your moving costs. And by the end of it, they'll ask me like, all right, can I go now? And I think it's the funniest thing because in my head, I'm like, this is a sovereign individual. If they want to leave, they could leave at any point. But they're asking me, the leasing agent, for permission to leave. Now I get it, right? They're asking me because they want to make sure everything is done. But it's just funny how they ask that question, right? Okay, Ephraim, can I go now? And I'm like, oh yeah, we're all done, bro, for sure. Or, oh, just wait 1 second. Let me just give you this one sheet, right? Can I go? So like that, let's translate that over to cold approach, right? The girl's probably not going to ask you, can I go? But it's that same kind of energy where it's like, she might be thinking, all right, bold guy just did this bold act in front of me, right? You can imagine the difference in confidence level that she's probably experiencing in that moment. So I am more often than not, I am the one to end the conversation, right? And I try to end it on a high note. But I'm usually the one to end it, right? So even if the girl is really fucking head over heels attracted to me, even if we've set up a date for later that day, I am still the one to end the conversation. And I think this is a very, very tiny one, but I think this makes a huge difference. Yeah. Even if I've already set up a date with the girl, we're planning on meeting later at 7 p.m. at this venue, then maybe we talk for 2-3 more minutes. And then I go, all right, look, go get to your blank, right? Oh, go on your walk. Or, oh, I got to go do this. I got to get my hair cut. All right. I'll see you later. And I'm always, not always, but I try to be the one to end the conversation. Yeah. Just to show that I understand it all from cover to cover, right? I understand everything from cover to cover. I'm not this socially inept person who is like standing in front of you hoping to talk to you for as long as you'll talk to me. A good example of this is yesterday's live stream, right? Where I tell you boys about Trevor talking to Rachel, sitting down on the floor, just asking her arbitrary questions until the point where she literally goes, dude, Trevor, why are you still here? Why are you still here in the leasing office? Didn't you already submit your application? Like, why are you still here? Right? I don't want it to get to that point in the conversation when I'm in front of a girl, right? So I am typically the one to go, all right, look, get to your whatever. Oh, go get to your bachelorette party or whatever the fuck she's doing, right? Go get to your blank. I'll see you later. Go get to your blank. I'll text you later. Yeah. And it's like, I kind of dismiss her. I kind of, once again, it's like that, can I go kind of a thing. So I just kind of, all right, let's end it here, right? And so I'm usually the one to take the lead there. And then, oh yeah, this kind of goes into the second point I just put, taking the lead, not standing there for 25 minutes because maybe she's a polite and will allow it. All right. So I pretty much just explained that. And then the very last point that I made here on this for this live stream was I acknowledge her friends and her family if they're present. Yeah. So this is more rare for me because I don't not nearly as often do I go up to girls that are with their friends or girls that are with their family. But I have done this plenty in the past, and I've done it for you on camera plenty in the past. And when I do this, I'm always sure to acknowledge everybody in the group, literally everybody in the group. I mean, if it's a group of 7, then I'll acknowledge them as a whole. But like if she's with 1 or 2 friends, I make sure to say hello to everybody, right? Now I'm flirting with one girl, right? I'm giving the compliment to one of the girls, but I'm certain to engage everybody. Because don't you feel so shitty and isolated when somebody is talking to your friend next to you but doesn't even say anything to you, right? When somebody comes and shakes the hand of the person that you're with, but just completely ignores you, even though you're standing right next to them, and just purposely ignores you and doesn't say anything to you, right? So once again, very small and tangible, but something that I think makes the biggest difference, the world of a difference, yeah, is when I'm walking over to a group of girls, a pair of girls or 3 girls, or maybe they're with their family, right? I'm very intentional to acknowledge everybody in the group, right? So I'll say hello to everybody, right? Oh, is this your friend? Her friends come over. This happens a lot where I'm talking to just one girl and then her friends come over. Maybe she was meeting up with her friends or something. Yeah. And then I don't go, all right, wait over there, friends, ignore, and then just keep focusing on this girl, right? I invite them. Once again, invitational energy, right? I go, oh, these are your friends? Don't mind me. Look, I'm just hitting on your friend right now. Okay. What's going on? What's the plan? Right. And I'm looking at her friend now. What's the plan? What are you guys doing? Right. And I acknowledge everybody. Same thing with the parents. So I've never walked over to a girl and her father in my life. I'm still too scared to do that shit. But I have walked over to a girl with her mother, and I've done that like probably 3 to 5 times. Yeah. It was mainly in Cyprus when I did that. And once again, you have this on camera to go and watch. Yeah. The editing wasn't the best, so I apologize. We're working on that. But look, you have it on camera. All right. So, but I would walk over and I would stop them both, right? But I would acknowledge them both, right? And then maybe I'll throw a little joke in there. Oh, you two must be sisters, huh? Right? Even though the mom's clearly 40 years older than her, whatever. But just a little joke. But the point is, I'm acknowledging everybody. Yeah, invitational energy. Yeah, I'm not just fucking cutting off the mom and just going, look, mom, don't talk. All right, so you're hot, daughter, you're so hot, this and that, and just ignoring the mom. Yeah, I'm the invitational energy. Sometimes the mom just excuses herself, right? Sometimes the friend, after being acknowledged, recognizes, oh, this guy actually knows what he's doing. Oh, this guy's actually a cool, social, fun, nice, confident person. And then she'll literally excuse herself and just walk off and pretend to play on her phone while I flirt with the girl. Huh? So I think that is another little intangible that is very important that makes a world of difference. All right. So, anyways, yo, we got Gus in the chat trolling the guy from yesterday. That's so funny. He goes, open big group, arrow emoji, neg the target, arrow emoji, isolate the target. He says, what happened to that guy from yesterday? That's too funny. Dude, I'm sure he's probably watching the live stream right now, fuming, honestly. Who gives a fuck? Hopefully he figured it out. Anyways, he says, Gus says, what are your thoughts on girls at the club acting like they are too good for you and having big egos? I'll be honest. I don't go to clubs much these days. I haven't been to a club in like a year, but I remember I kind of remember what you're describing, where I'd have that experience where I'd go over to a girl, muster it right. It takes all the courage in me to walk over to this girl at the club, and then she kind of blows me off or laughs with her friends and blows me off, and then laughs with her friends at the fact that she just blew me off. And I get it, right? It can be frustrating. One thing oh, what up, D1? D1's in the chat. Good to see you, my guy. One thing that I'd mention is some girls literally go out to reject guys. Yeah. Like this is a thing, right? Some girls, they get into groups together. Maybe they all have boyfriends and they go, all right, we're going to go party. We're going to have a girls' night, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go dance. We're going to go shake ass. But any guy that comes up to us, we're going to reject. So maybe they don't say this verbally to each other, but there is like a unwritten agreement going on that they're kind of like in this enclosed circle in the club, right? They're all hot. They're all dancing and shit, all seductively, almost inviting the attention from guys. But then when the guys do finally come over, they're quick to swat them away like flies. Yeah. So keep that in mind, right? Sometimes that happens. And then once again, I'll remind you that these women don't owe you anything, right? Same thing for me. They don't owe me anything, right? So as butthurt and as defeated as we may feel when that happens, remember that they're sovereign, they're free, and they're allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, right? So it's like, part of the reason why I don't go to clubs is because I can find success doing this, right? The only reason I would go to clubs 2 years ago was because I was trying to get laid, right? Every now and then I'd go to some club with my friend just to turn up, blah, blah, blah. But still, we were there to find girls, right? Like here's a good way to put it. If the club was men only, we wouldn't be in the club, right? So if we were really just out to just quote have fun, just have a good time and get drunk, why aren't we going to clubs that are men only, right? Now, to be fair, I don't think there are many of those anyways, because they do terrible as far as business. But think about it, right? Like if there was a club that was just guys, or there was a club that accepted everybody, but it just happened to be full of dudes only, and there were no girls in there, most of us wouldn't go into the club, right? So it's not that we're out to just have fun, blah, blah, blah. No, we actually are trying to get girls, right? So just a reminder, they don't owe us anything, right? So if this method isn't really working well for you, going to the club trying to shoot your shot, I would encourage you to reconsider a method such as cold approach. Yeah, that's the whole reason I got into this, right? I was trying the club, I was trying to go to bars alone, I was trying to swipe on Tinder, I was trying to DM girls on Instagram. Nothing was fucking work. I was trying the mystery method, right? The guy gave us this whole little spiel yesterday. I was trying all that shit. None of that was getting me laid. Guess what was? Cold approach. Guess how I was getting laid? I met Christian. I flew out to Poland. I learned how to cold approach. All of a sudden, date breakdown, date breakdown, date breakdown. You get it? Yeah. So maybe just reconsider the method that you're using, right? So he says, Gus says thoughts on, and then he names a bunch of guys that are in the space. Yeah, I mean, dude, I got nothing but respect for any guy that's willing to go over to girls. Yeah, mystery method, RSD. To be fair, a lot of these guys are what got me into the space. I owe a lot to mystery. I owe a lot to RSD Julian, right? RSD Owen, all these guys, Owen Cook, right? I owe a lot to these guys because they are who opened my eyes to the fact that I didn't have to just be passive and start swiping on a screen my whole life, right? They at least got the ball rolling for me, and I learned a lot, right? One of the PDFs that Christian sent to me before Poland, after I wired him some money, he goes, yeah, dude, here's a little PDF on this guy. He used to be known as RSD Julian. And I go, oh, Julian, I remember this guy, right? Julian Blanc. That's crazy. And there was a lot of good information on just like inner game and like owning the night and owning the environment and just being free, right? Still, a lot of it was just very good information. But so I have no problem with these guys, right? Like even yesterday, the guy was going on about the mystery method. Dude, I have no problem with any of that shit. I owe a lot to these guys. I've just found something that works a lot better for me and is a lot more effective for me. Yeah. It doesn't require me to have 2-3 friends to go out with. It doesn't require me to go out to these clubs and pay these covers and get drunk and buy these beers and get, do all the stuff that I don't really want to do. Right. If I wanted to go to clubs because I wanted to go to clubs and party, then I'd be doing that for the last year. But notice I haven't stepped foot in a club for a year since finding cold approach, right? It's because I can't really even find a reason to, right? Unless my friend invites me to a little mini rave or something and we're going to have fun and pop Molly or some shit. I've never even tried Molly, dude. I really want to try it one day. But that's besides the point, yeah. Point is like, okay, yeah, sometimes my friend will invite me to, let's go do this rave. There's this rave in North Beach, blah, blah, blah. And I'll go and we'll get drunk and we'll jump around and we'll fucking have a good time. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Right? Frat guy energy. It's fun. Yeah. Every now and then it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But here's the thing. Nowadays, I go and do that because I actually do want to just have fun, get drunk, and let loose. But notice I don't go and do that every other weekend because that used to be my method to try and get laid, to try and get girls, and it was not working for me. Yeah. So no, go figure. I barely ever step foot in a club. Go figure. I barely go to bars unless I have a date with me or unless I'm playing pool with my dad or with my friends. Those are like the only 2 times I go to bars these days, right? Whereas I used to try to go to bars alone to try to get laid. Yeah. And it never fucking worked. Yeah. The best I got was I would make out with some girls, but then they would go run off to another guy or they would go run off to their friends. And then 10 minutes later, I'd see them making out with a different guy. And I'm going, oh, this sucks. Oh, fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, right? Maybe if I studied the mystery method a bit better, I could have learned how to pull a girl home. I didn't want to have to go through all this shit, all this theory, all this PUA lingo. I just wanted to learn how to put my balls on the line wherever the fuck I was. Yeah. I'm at a fucking library. I'm at a grocery store. I'm at Target. I'm at a gas station. I'm out in public. I'm walking down the street. I'm in a fucking Sprouts farmer's market. I see the girl I like. I walk over. Yeah. And it's like, that's what I wanted to learn how to do. Go figure. My dating life rocks now. Hey. So yeah, that's about all I had for this live, boys. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, he says that happened to my friend yesterday. The girl he was making out with ran over to the DJ after. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. We don't have much control over these situations, right? Whereas when you're walking over to a girl in public, you are the situation, right? You literally are controlling the entire interaction because you are creating that whole thing from nothing. right? Whereas a club, it's like these girls are going. Some women are just going over to see how much attention can we get from these guys, right? Maybe they want to go home with one of them, maybe they don't. And what are the odds they pick you anyways? Yeah, unless you know the mystery method perfectly, like the last guy from the last live stream. All right, we're gonna stop ripping on that guy. All right, boys, appreciate you as always. Love you as always. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Going for your fucking approaches. Life is too short.